Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Ironclad RC. I'm Big B. So we got the 42 and the V2 Blackjack 24 on the block. In this video, we're going to be messing around and bench tuning our boats in with our new IXSR Spectrum radio. We're going to replace the stock V2 radio, okay? And we're actually going to be setting up two different drive modes for the Blackjack 42. We'll actually be testing each drive mode and the settings that go along with each drive mode on the bench, throttling up, steering, kind of dialing in everything for the drive mode. So we'll probably end up doing that for both boats. It may actually be a long video. Stick around, bear with me, Big B with Ironclad RC. I got the 24. We're going to start with this. We're going to go ahead and take the stock receiver out and put the new receiver in, get it binded up. I've already binded this transmitter to my 48 in my previous video, so I'm going to kind of lightly touch on binding. The main reason I'm making this video is for like transmitter tuning, what each little function does on a boat, kind of what my experience and some of the better settings I've found for boats may be. Now, I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be. If you have anything you'd like to add, by all means, drop it in the comments. I'm always willing to learn. Okay, this is what I do to all my receivers before I install them. This is Corrosion X. It don't take a whole lot. That should do it right there, and it'll soak in, you know. So boom, boom, boom. Go ahead and get my antenna through this box. So we have our SR515 in there. I put V2 Blackjack 24 in my transmitter. It's asking me which receiver I'm using. So we're using a 515 2-channel mode. Okay. Next, it gives you the option gas or nitro or electric. So we got electric. Yeah, we got reverse. I don't really use it. Alright, that's good. Set it complete. Thank you very much. Let's go. Alright, so let me grab some batteries. Turn the boat on. Hold the bind button down and begin binding. Okay, so this is a DSMR protocol, 5.5 millisecond rate, and we should be binded. Man, that's so quick and easy. Got power, and we got servo. So now we're actually going to go through and set up our boat with our transmitter. Hopefully you guys are going to be able to see the boat, the rudder, kind of what kind of throw we're getting, and the transmitter all in one shot here. So hopefully that'll work. Yeah, that looks good. So let's start with the travel. Okay, as you can see, you have your monitor here that actually gives you your left and right throw. Okay, so it's actually backwards. Right is left, left is right. Let's go ahead and reverse that. Okay, and our travel. So our travel, I kind of look at travel and steering rate about the same. You know, on our SLT2, we have our steering rate at about 35, maybe 40% of its maximum throw. Okay, so with an RC boat, you don't need full throw. For one, you hear the servo? Can you guys hear that? For one, it'll actually wear out a servo prematurely. And two, full throw, you make a right turn real hard at speed, a lot of times it'll catch an edge and flip your boat over. So we need to actually slow the speed down, reduce the travel or rate, however you want to look at it, so we get a nice smooth left and right turn so we don't flip our boat if we hit the steering wheel too hard, because I have a heavy hand. So my travel, I'm going to back down on my travel until I don't hear that servo whining. So let's start at around 80% here. Okay, well, that was actually good, so we can actually go up a little bit more. Well, let's go to 85. Okay, we don't hear the whine. Okay, so that's good. That's a good starting point. Let's go down to sub trim. Sub trim, it's really just like your on the fly trim, but the sub trim actually, it gives you more left or more right trim if the rudder and servo rod isn't quite lined up, dead nuts center with your keel. You can use the sub trim to actually trim it out, and then you can use your on the fly trim to get it to track straight. You feel me? So we're not going to mess with the sub trim because my rudder and servo looks like it's lined up perfect. So we're actually going to back off of this, go all the way down, back down to 0. Okay, so we have the steering curve next, and I think steering curve and like exponential are pretty close in what you can achieve with expo or your curve. So let's actually do a custom one. Let's do a custom curve. Okay, so I have my curve set to the right hand turn. I just put a point in there. Okay, so we're actually going to bring that point down, so when you initially get on it in a turn, it's not gonna like jump, you know. The steering's not gonna like jump to its fullest position. It's gonna basically gradually get into it. You could actually add a second point here, which I think I am gonna do on my right turn, because I mostly make a right turn and I want it to be like slow, and then it gradually gets faster as I progress into the turn. Okay, so I'm actually going to go up. I want to go back. Hopefully you guys can see this. This is why I really don't make a whole lot of transmitter videos. It's really hard. It's really hard to do. And you guys see what's going on. So I think I got it about where I want it. Maybe you guys can see the rudder there and the remote. Okay, so let's go to our left turn. Kind of do it the same. Pick out our points. Gradual, and then it gets faster. Okay, so we have our steering curve set, left and right. Okay, about the same, left and right. Alright, it's about where I like to run mine. So my steering speed, that's basically how fast the servo will move. On boats, you don't really need like a damn super quick like turbo servo speed. It'll just flip your boat over. So I actually come off of my servo speed normally. It was at 100, so I'm going to run my servo speed around 88. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I messed around with my curve, to slow that initial input down. Okay, so steering rate, like I said, rate and travel, it's very similar. Okay, but the nice thing about your steering rate, you can actually program that on one of your on the fly buttons. Okay, so we have throttle, steering, trim, and then we'll put our rate on C. So let's go ahead, pick C. That looks good. Actually, let's do that. Save. So now check the rudder where it's at, and I'm actually going to go down with my rate. It's reducing the travel. We'll go up with the rate, and it's extending the travel. So if you don't want your rudder to, or your rate to fully extend your rudder, that's when you actually mess around with the travel. The travel will limit the amount of rate you can put on the rudder at any given time. You see what I'm saying? So steering override, that does not do anything that I know of for a boat. I don't even know what it does. So I mean, I just went down to 1% and it didn't do anything. That's 100. So the trim, that basically steps the amount of steps you have on your on the go button, so I'm not gonna mess with that either. That looks pretty good, nice and smooth. Maybe you guys can see it. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's get out of here. Let's go to our throttle. So throttle, I just greased it, so hopefully it sounds good. I've been messing with it here off camera, and I've probably slung half the grease out my drive line. So travel, okay, basically travel, it's I look at it like this. It's like 50, 75, 100. This one goes up to 150%. That's your maximum throttle travel. Okay, if you run it at 64, that's like running basically 50%, and it reduces the amount of output you get. So I run that at 150 brake. It's a boat. We don't really use brake, but I would imagine you wouldn't want it to slam. That actually cuts out the reverse completely with the brake at 0. Okay, so let's run that. Let's run it about 70% or so. Full forward, and then you back off of forward into reverse. It'll only go in like partial reverse, so it doesn't wear out or unravel your flex cable going full 100% reverse. Okay, so sub trim, we don't really need to mess with that. We got forward, the right rotation, I guess you should say. Throttle rate, I don't really mess with that too much. You know, I don't really mess with that a whole lot. Yeah, ain't no point in messing with that. Not that I can see. Brake rate, this is the same thing. You can kind of limit the amount of reverse you can get. Okay, you hear that? And then we'll go to up with the brake rate. That's full reverse. Okay, no reverse. Okay. Traction control, we're going to mess with this on the Blackjack 42. I don't know if this will help us or not. I had some subscribers mention traction control, or maybe it was launch control. We're going to do that with the 42 and try to get us a nice linear curve set for our speed runs. So that's basically all I do with my throttle. I'm not even going to set a throttle rate on the fly buttons. I really don't use it, you know. I kind of keep it in one place and leave it there. So hopefully I got everything set up right. We'll kind of fine tune it once we get to the water. Full forward, partial reverse, a nice curve so we don't lean into our turn too hard. Oh, that left needs some work actually. So I'll actually work on that off camera. Yeah, I think I'm going to work on that left turn there. There we go. That looks good. That looks good. All right, so let's get to 42. I'm going to go ahead and get this all buttoned up, put my receiver box on, and work on another boat. Okay, so I got the big boy out. Don't have it turned on yet. I actually found a setting I've been looking for. So we're going to go to our Blackjack 24, our model here. We're going to change the picture. I can actually upload an actual picture. So I'm actually going to take pictures of each of my boats so I can use that for my profile picture. Okay, my model picture, I guess. So I've been looking for this and I kind of overlooked it. So color. So the Blackjack 24 V2, it's like a greenish color, so we're going to use that green, and it changes all the highlighted colors. So that's actually pretty cool. Okay, so we're actually going to go to our Blackjack 42. We're going to activate it. Go to our setup menu. I'm going to go ahead and turn my boat on. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this orange because it kind of matches the 42. That will work. All right, and let's. I kind of was messing with this last night. This is what I wanted to work on my drive modes. So I have oval bash mode, and I have. Okay, so my on the fly button. Where was it? That's right. So our on the fly drive mode button is this right trim button here. As you can see, it changes from speed run to oval bash. Okay, so oval bash, I'm actually going to reduce my travel, my rudder throw, like we did on the little boat. Okay, and I think I'm going to leave the curve alone with this one, because this servo, it's not all that fast, so I think I'm going to leave that alone. The steering speed, yeah, right there. I'm actually going to go ahead and program my rate button on C, so it's the same on all my models. Okay, now I can get more steering rate, less steering rate on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and back off to about 60% because I don't need a whole lot of throw on this. It will catch an edge the way I have my strut extended off the transom here. It likes to blow out in the turn, so I don't need a whole lot of throw on this one here. Steering override, not going to mess with that. And steering should be good on the oval bash drive mode. Let's go into our throttle, make sure it's at 150. Not much else I want to do in here. So let's go ahead and exit out of the oval bash mode. So that's one setting. Now we're actually going into setting 2 for speed runs. I'm going to actually reduce my rate. I need to actually go ahead and program my rate on C. It's already there. That is good. Travel. That looks good. Let me see where my lowest rate will be. Okay, so we got plenty of travel. And throw there. I'm actually going to back off of it a little bit for a speed run. That looks pretty good. Let's see. I actually need some more right travel. Left looks good. Right looks good. I backed off my travel. I'm at 83 and 60. Okay. Let's actually go to our throttle. That's really what I want to play with this one. It's at 150%, and there it is. We're going to try this. Okay, so I found it. This is what some of my viewers have been asking me to try, and I don't think, well, I do think nope, the DX5 didn't have it. So, traction control, I enabled it. I've got my cutoff point at 100%, so that basically means it's going to go to maximum throttle. I've got my ramp rate at 1%. So basically, in a speed run, in a speed pass, you get on it, you know, and you're in your run, okay, and it's not a perfectly linear pull. When you have spikes in your pull during a speed run, it'll actually create like peaks in your pool, and you'll have battery ripple, voltage sag. So if you can set your ramp rate right, you could basically go full trigger and it'll gradually build up, like without any peaks or valleys. So listen to it. Okay, so she'll pop up and then gradually get to speed. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how well that's going to work on the water, because really with a boat, you're watching it and you're waiting for it to pick up. If it stays down, then you get on it, or if it's picking up, you know, you have to come off of it. Which, you pull it full trigger, if she's starting to lift up at any point, you just come off the throttle and it'll come off of it. So let me check my, because I have 6S in here. So okay, so it's not hot. So I don't really recommend holding full trigger for long periods of time with your boats. This has a Speedmaster bushing. I got it all greased up, so it should be all right. So let's go. Let's listen to it at 1%. Okay, so let's go to 46%. Okay, so maybe I think that 1% may actually do good. That you hit it, you have time to straighten up, and then it'll hit full trigger. We're going to try that. I'm actually really interested in that. I don't use ABS on my boats, even if I had an ABS receiver. Usually with ABS, it wants to try to correct itself. You know, the rudder's constantly trying to correct that fishtail, and it actually creates a fishtail, you know, with ABS, with my experience anyway. So servo speed, I'm pretty sure that's for like gas boats, you know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna mess with that. And I wanted to see if traction control, so we have an on the fly option for traction control. So let's go D with our traction control. Okay, so we'll actually be able to increase or decrease the amount or length of time it takes for it to get to full trigger. So D. Okay, so D is traction control, C is my rate. I actually have it for G, so I really don't even want. We'll just go ahead and program our rate on C. I'm not going to use it very often for my throttle, so watch it right here. So that's actually taken too long to get to 150%. So we actually need to shorten that up a little bit. It seems like it's taking too long. So I got it at 10% now. That was too fast. Still too fast. What was that? I don't know, that 1% sounded pretty good. How many t-shirts have you guys ruined bench testing your boats and grease fly out of your flex cable? How many shirts have you guys ruined? Golly. Oh, I've ruined many of them. All right, so we're going to go back to our drive mode, oval bash. So oval bash, this is my throttle. Traction control disabled for oval bash. We got it turned up to 100. So we'll go back. We'll actually go into our speed run mode and go to our throttle traction control, it's enabled, and we have it set to D. Okay, you guys see that? So I actually have two separate drive modes saved. Yep, okay, so that looks good. 8360, and then we'll check this oval. Okay, I got that set. Okay, so we didn't set the curve on this, so point, steering. Okay, that looks good. That actually looks good. I know it was a long movie. It was a movie. It was like a movie. It takes time. I've been working on this for about 2 hours. I'm not even kidding. Working on both boats, maybe even 2.5 hours here, messing with my settings, kind of figuring out what's going on with my transmitter. And actually, while you guys are here, let's see what we can do with this Castle Link real quick. I'm just curious, because I actually have it hooked up on this boat. So let me turn this off. I haven't tried this yet, so the video's already long. What's another couple minutes gonna hurt, you know? Oh yeah, so I need to actually log in. Hold up, let me log into this thing. All right, so I got this one saved under Dominator because I pulled this ESC out the Dom until I get a part in the mail. So Mama XLX2, B-Link not found. Let's go ahead and turn this bad boy on. Really curious, man. Really curious if we can get this to work with the transmitter. So this is going to be such a plus, having this Android-based transmitter. A lot of guys were like, "Oh, what are you going to use the Play Store for?" But obviously, oh yeah, it works. It works. I mean, you can download the data. I don't think I'm going to wait around for that because it takes a minute. So I actually need to clear that out. Our last pass. Dismiss. Boom. We could check data log on the water. Controller settings. Let's actually put this on do not disturb while we messing with that. Okay. Okay, I got it at 6. I was wanting to save my, I want to change my timing real quick. What? It said I had it at 6. It's at 4. That's good. This is a Y-wound motor, and I'm running some big props, so I didn't want the timing to be too high. So we're good to go. We are good to go, man. We're good to go. Let's go. I'm actually pretty freaking glad I took the time to do this. You know what I mean? Like I got 2 boats set up today. I've been working on it for the better part of my Labor Day. I got drive modes figured out for 1 boat, and I'm actually pretty excited to try out this this new traction control feature that I've never used before. So it's going to be actually interesting, you know, to see if it even works or whatnot. But hopefully you guys learned something with me. I actually had a good time messing with this. If you guys like videos like this, you know, more transmitter model tuning, definitely let me know in the comments, you know. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.